It's so ready, even though it was just you transitioning nicely. But it sounded like we had a script. So this is the ink weapon skin. So it's kind of themed after the Nemesis-y looking ink that you get from the ink grenades back in the day. Also themed back in the day, this is the new liquid metal skin. So this is a new look at that. You'll also see the Locust Runes one on the back. Now, the Locust Runes one, I will have weapons coming in later. But these are all Tour of Duty skins. So these are pretty exciting. Something else we want to show you just before we jump into Gridiron. This is the new Tour of Duty screen. So the new Tour of Duty screen, you'll notice, has 4 objectives. 2 of them are generic, so they can be completed in any mode versus Horde or Escape. 1 is PvE focused, and 1 is PvP focused. So before, when you might have just been rolling 3 PvE objectives and you're a PvP player, well, now you're guaranteed at least 3 objectives a day that you could totally just go play versus, boom, get stars. On top of that, stars can also be earned just by playing the game, so even outside of objectives, you'll be earning stars as you play the game. Now, you may notice that the big boy at the top of this tour series is the Armored Ronin Countess. He's our kind of top of the mountain reward. We'll give you a look at him in action a little bit later today. And one of the cool things you can actually do now is you can actually scroll through Tour just from this screen here. So you can actually go through all the content in Tour without actually having to bring up the Tour rewards.
And see how many stars you need to earn to get to the next one.
Correct, yes, yeah. So you can see how many stars are between each rank. So we hope that this will make Tour a lot more visible to you and a lot more easy to discover the content you like. And also we've got some savage version of Swarm in here, which I'm very excited to show you later. But enough of that. Let's get into Gridiron, shall we?
Let's get this bitch started.
Okay.
All right.
So Gridiron, what you need to know as we're going
Do you want to give us the lowdown and dirty on what Gridiron is there, Mr. Liam?
It's a single life elimination objective-based mode. So just like Execution back in the day, you got 1 life, you go in, you die, you're out for the round. Yeah. There's 3 ways to win. You can eliminate the enemy team. So that means you kill all enemy members of the enemy team. There's 1 flag on the map. It moves every single round across the center line. And if you capture it in the enemy's end zone, you will score 2 points as well, which is the same as elimination. Or if you're holding it at the end of a round, when the round timer expires after 2 minutes, you will score a possession victory, which is worth 1. The key thing to this mode is that it has unique weapon swaps. So this mode has swaps on the map that are not like normal versus multiplayer. We've optimized the maps and the weapons we put down to make the right balance of fighting for the flag and fighting for centerline power weapons. We're making sure those initials that you love from those 1 life modes are going to pop, and you're about to see it in action right now.
Yeah. Well, and I think people, it's not a capture the flag mode the way that you think of a capture the flag mode is. Think for Gears fans, this is almost more of a like, oh yeah, Liam on the beach right there.
Yeah. In about 20 years maybe when I have some muscle strength.
No, it's a mode that's a bit different in that like it's not a pure capture the flag. It takes a lot of that vibe of what Execution is, but rather than having those like just janky ass stalemates, so Liam is dead already, because that was a silly push.
Yeah, but I dived for the flat. I dived to clean up the kill. It was a bad decision.
Yeah. So rather than taking away that or having that kind of stalematy vibe that Execution can really devolve into too much, this way people are going to move along, and it gives a reason to play, and it gives an objective by going and either doing squad wipes, which I think just happened right here, so they got the 2 points to score. And then the other one that you would get is as you see Liam coming out of spawn in the next round, he's going to run over the end zone. So what you do is when you grab the flag, you want to get it to the end zone of your team, of your opposing team. There are power weapons on the map. So what you want to do is you have to decide, do you go and throw everybody at the flag, or do you want to go and fight for power weapons at the same time? And I think that dynamic adds a little bit of variety and fun. Especially we see this mode is going to work in a competitive setting. We think, and when I say competitive, I don't just mean esports. I mean competitive in terms of like high-level competitive players are going to be, we think, are going to find that the simplicity of an execution style game mode, the single life game mode, is going to be forceful. So here we go. Liam is now.
I tried.
Now once
I
he gets
tried.
into the thing here,
I don't know how. My smoke. I cover slipped through my smoke.
Yeah. So normally Liam would have to be alive for 5 seconds, or you have to beat the score. You have to be alive for 5 seconds inside of the end zone.
So for people saying about execution rules, just so you know, it uses the damage mitigation rules of escalation. So it's not quite like when you play King of the Hill. The further away someone is, the more damage mitigation they get from you. So up close, you can clean them up like execution, and then the further they are away, the more bullets you have to put in them to down and finish them. And
this mode isn't going to come out in ranked. I wanted to say that as well. We're going to look at that. Like these are things like, you know, right now we think the way the mode is designed is a lot of fun, but if we feel like execution rules in terms of downs and kills and so on and so forth is an important aspect of it, then we can always change that after the fact, or maybe we run that as a special event list or what have you. So these are it's going to be ranked. Sorry, it is going to be ranked eventually.
Yes.
But it's not going to be ranked out of the gate. So, and this isn't going to be like free for all where ranked is coming and then it takes longer to get through. It is something as simple as like we expect ranked to take place probably within a couple of weeks after the season begins, and that is for us to go through and build out a skill-based population so we can get people in the ranks in an effective fashion, so that we can get people put in the right matches, so people are. So everything's a little more consistent and stable. And then I'll just take 2 seconds and actually talk about ranked FFA. One of the reasons why it's taken so long is it's hard to manage what does a rank mean inside of FFA. Yeah. If you finished first, obviously you're going up. If you finish 7th, do you go down? Do you go up? Those are some of the things that we're trying to manage with ranked. And if we're going to make it ranked, we want to make it a really, really good experience. So while I don't want to talk a ton about FFA, that's some of the context on why it hasn't happened just yet.
Okay. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Sorry, we're being pressured on this flag. So you can see we have the flag now, so even though it's a 2v1 situation, like we can just go play for this end zone. And the last guy alive is going to have to really fly at that end zone and try and stop us here, because otherwise we're just going to get this touchdown. So you can see your first touchdown here. Also, the UI team did an amazing job on that. Oh, Strang got bodied. The UI team did an amazing job. If you look at the new UI for the scoreboard and for the upper end, like there's some amazing work done here by our incredible UI team, which we're excited about. So yeah, so touchdowns, you'll see, we're going to play a variety of maps today, and you'll see how the different maps play. Some maps you'll find there's more kind of slay out moments, and then other maps you'll find there's more, other maps, sorry, I'm just trying to, oh no, we do have Dana. Sorry, you look frozen on my screen. And other maps you'll find it's more of a touchdown, where touchdowns occur more often, so.
Those weapon spawns are for this mode. We're not changing weapon spawns for other modes.
Yeah, this is just for this mode.
Yeah.
It's to make sure those center line fights you expect are great. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but like as I'm taking pop shots off cover, you'll probably notice that my shots seem to be hitting. I accidentally misrolled. My shots are hitting more consistently. That's one of the Nasher changes we made. We heard that people were like feeling like their Nasher shots off cover slips and stuff like that were feeling like they weren't hitting where they should. You should find they're a lot more kind of like hit where they expect now with some of the Nasher changes that are coming. So.
You have debased them.
Hold on, Frozen. This is not actually what you said is not accurate. I never said it was don't plan on being ranked. I said it's not going to be ranked out of the gate. Ranked is coming.
Correct.
Which I said that. So don't come and start spreading lies in the chat. That's not accurate.
Yeah.
And then we're not saying execution players, but make it a Warzone rules.
Yeah.
It is a single life mode, which is what we talked about. So before you start kind of coming in and sort of implying a bunch of things that are not accurate, it is accurate. It is a single life mode, which is basically what we've said it is. And you know, like that's not accurate. And it is going to be ranked. And I told you why it was going to be ranked and why it's not ranked out of the gate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and the benefit to it not being ranked out of the gate as well is that lots of people can just go in and experience it for the first time. Like, we believe in this mode. We've been playing it a lot internally, and we're really excited about it, to be honest. We think it kind of has a mix of, like, if, for example, one of the things you might be noticing, look how punchy these rounds are, right? Like, the game plays so much quicker than execution. that what we're hoping is it's that people, whether you're an existing execution fan or past Warzone fan, or you're a current King of the Hill player or a TDM player, even if you like respawn modes, this is going to feel quick enough that even if you're a respawn player, you can still really enjoy this. I tend to play a mix of King of the Hill and execution at home, but generally more King. And I find it super like high-paced, snappy. Like I get in, I die, I watch some people fight, and I'm back in. Like it feels
and then
very
I think
quick.
so. Jippery asked about how does the touchdown versus eliminated team the same point value? We actually played with having a touchdown worth more than an elimination win, but what it actually slowed down the mode and made it worse, because what ended up happening is as soon as somebody got into a scenario by which they were up 4-2 or 3-1, like they would be ragging for kills or things like that, and just to keeping the pacing up, because the driving towards a touchdown and the elimination base ended up being the same. We tried playing it a different way, and it's something that just ultimately as much as we tried, we couldn't make it work. Because I get what you're saying, because intuitively you want one to be worth more than the other. It's just as we were playing it, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, so if you see there, they actually played that very well. It was a 3v2 situation. We lost dibs on the flag carrier, and the flag carrier got a touchdown behind our backs. So we actually screwed up there. I don't have audio, so I'm playing with that audio so Dana can actually hear me. So it's a little bit interesting to try and work out when a touchdown's happening. But we completely dropped the ball there. Like, two of us were focused on the wrong guy, and they managed to get a touchdown. And that's actually a big part of the mode in general, to be honest. Is that happening? I'm really bad at that position.
Has there been a lot of clutches? Yeah, I think
a lot.
So
I mean,
you're going to see a lot of clutch plays as people move through and people understand the mode more. As the team has gotten better at playing the game and mucking around with it and really understanding the strategy of it, you see some of those clutch ups a bit more. You're going to see strats in a different way, and a lot of that's going to come down to where do you go, like how the rolled up power weapons play on the field, how were you going setting up from a positioning standpoint. A lot like an escalation where you see people playing roles in terms of home hill players and things like that. You're going to see people, I think, high skilled, high level players, you're going to see scenarios by which they are, that's going to happen. So, and if you get down, you drop the flag immediately.
Yes.
So that's an important part of there.
So
even if somebody gets downed, like how whoever was lancering into the end zone there, if that person would have gone down, the flag would have dropped, and that would have prevented the touchdown from taking place.
Correct. I saw someone ask, how do you get 1 point? 1 point's if there's a 2-minute time limit on the round. If you're holding the flag at the end of the round, you'll pick up a point if you don't score a touchdown or wipe the enemy team. Alternatively, you can, if no one's holding the flag at the end of the 2 minutes, it goes into overtime. No, they took our house. Oh no! Sorry. If at overtime they're doing that, then what will happen is the next team to touch the flag, literally touch it, will take the point. So if it gets to that situation, you're going to want to just be the one to touch the flag, and it's just all to stop stalemating, basically, right? I'm so stupid.
And then I think the other thing that you're going to see when next week when the mode comes out is you're going to see how we've changed some of the rank modes in terms of in terms of number of modes and the way that the list is being put forward. So we expect this mode is going to be very, very popular, and we're going to keep it front and center for people to go and sample and play just as they move along. So people are asking questions about that. So.
Yeah, and obviously, we're not. I'm not communicating with my team, but if you love playing with teams, this deciding how you split your squad and what weapons you fight over on the initials is a huge thing. Yeah. For those of you who are aware, the drop shot is quite a kind of must-pick weapon. You may have noticed we've reduced it to 2 rounds for a drop shot. in
Yeah.
the next update with the next operation. So even the drop shot being on the map is less of an obvious pick now than it used to be. That was a really bad push.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've done a lot to try and kind of not only balance this mode, but also bring some more balance to the game all up, and hopefully this mode is kind of a stunning start of it.
Yeah.
And congrats when we got
And then,
stomped.
just for people that are watching, I know that if you're watching on live.gearsofwar.com, just by virtue